All right. The assignment's going to start on 5. Which lines or segments are parallel? Based on the information given, if this angle right here is congruent to this angle, then what do you know? You know that BE is parallel to CG. And it says to justify your answer. And in this case, your justification would be corresponding angles theorem. Okay? On number 6, you're going to want to extend the lines if you need to. All right? You can determine which lines are parallel, and then you need to justify why they're parallel. Which theorem tells you that they're parallel. On the next page, you got 9 through 20. Two workers paint lines for angled parking spaces. One worker paints a line so that the measure of one is 65. So that angle is 65. Angle 2 is 65. Are their lines parallel? Are their lines parallel, Trevor? Yes. What's your explanation? 1 and 2. Alternate exterior angles theorem. Okay? For number 10, find the value of x for which L is parallel to M. For L to be parallel to M, what has to be true here? For L and M to be parallel.
They both have to equal 55.
Close. What is 55? Doesn't it have to equal x plus 25?
Yeah.
They're corresponding, aren't they? So they got to be congruent for those two lines to be parallel. So subtract 25 from each side and solve for x. Or you did solve for x when you subtract 25. So that's the value of x that would make L parallel to M. Okay? In number 11, what has to be true about these two angles for L to be parallel to M? What kind of angles are they? Alternate interior. So doesn't 95 have to equal 2x minus 5? Because if alternate interiors are congruent, L is parallel to M. So solve for x. What do you know about these two? They're alternate exterior. So 3x minus 33 has to be equal to 2x plus 26 for L to be parallel to M. Solve for x. Okay? And when x is that value, then those two lines are parallel. Down here, use the given information to determine which lines are parallel. Justify. If 2 is supplementary to 3, if 2 and 3 add up to 180, what do you know? Okay. What else do you know? Which lines are parallel? A is parallel to B. You justify would be same side interior angles theorem. Okay? Bless you. If 1 is congruent to 3, what do you know? What lines are parallel? Which lines are parallel? A and B. Why? Corresponding angles theorem. Okay? And you just keep working through there. You look at the information given, try to determine which lines are parallel, and then justify why. Find the value of x so that L is parallel to M. If that's 19x, what is this? Because these are vertical, aren't they? Alright, we're trying to get L parallel to M. So if this is 19x, then what does 19x plus 17x have to add up to? 180. If they're supplementary, aren't they same side interior?
Yeah.
And if they're supplementary, doesn't that mean that L is parallel to M? So solve for X. Okay? Making any sense? For L to be parallel to M right here, if this is 5x plus 40, what is this? 5x plus 40. What do you know about these two angles? What has to be true for L to be parallel to M? They have to be supplementary. Added together, they have to equal 180. Solve for X, and that's when L will be parallel to M.
So the 5x plus 40 and 2x, they're same side here.
Correct. Yes. Now, this 5x that's up here, that's just to mess your eyes up. Same with this 27x. You're not going to use it for anything. Determine the value of x so that R is parallel to S. Now they're telling you that angle 1 equals 80 minus x, and angle 2 equals 90 minus 2x. For those two lines to be parallel, what do you know about those two angles? What has to be true? Please say they have to be congruent. Good. So 80 minus x has to equal 90 minus 2x. Solve for x. Same with all of these, right? 60 minus 2x has to equal 70 minus 4x. When 1 is congruent to 2, then R is parallel to S. So set them up and solve for x. And 32 to 38 is some review. Not really. For what value of x is C parallel to D? C parallel to D. X plus 21 has to equal 2x. If C is parallel to D, what is angle 1? If this is 136, what's this? 136. So what do these two have to add up to? 180 to make C parallel to D. Okay? And 34, you just answer it. And 35, what is the value of x in the diagram? What do you know about 2x and 8x minus 10? Beautiful answer. Added together, they got to equal 180. So you could do this. Plus equals 180. Combine like terms and solve for x. Okay? I hope that helps. If not, watch it again tonight. So it's page 169. It's 5 through 7, 9 through 20, 22 to 25, and 32 to 38. Questions? Chandler, get the lights, please.